Hello and welcome to Utica TV Overtime, where each week we will be keeping you up to date with everything that's going on with your Utica Pioneers. I'm your host, Andres Jaime Mendez.
And I'm James Brown. Let's get right into the action from the past week.
Utica men's hockey had their Thanksgiving showcase over the break. The Pioneers matched up with the Plymouth State Panthers to open up the tournament. Utica was looking to keep their hot streak alive in this one after rattling off 6 straight wins following their first 2 games of the season.
Neither team wasted any time getting on the board in this one. The Panthers scored first within the first minute, but Utica responded less than 30 seconds later when Christian Acosta tied it up at 1. Neither team would be able to break the tie until the second period, though.
Utica was finally able to end the scoring drought when Mick Curran got the Pioneers their first lead. Utica wouldn't stop there as Acosta scored his second of the game to extend the lead. John Monkovich scored as well in the second to cap off the scoring outburst.
Plymouth State would tack on a couple goals to bring this game back within 1, but with under 5 minutes left in the third period, Mick Curran found the back of the net again to ice the game for Utica.
Utica wound up on top in this one by a score of 5-3. Following that offensive outburst from Curran and Acosta, Utica looked to ride the momentum when they closed out the Thanksgiving showcase.
On November 26th, the Utica Pioneers had their second game of the Thanksgiving tournament against the Trine University White Tigers. The Pioneers entered the matchup looking to keep their win streak alive.
Scoring got off to a slow start as both teams' goalies took the show and shut out the forwards throughout the entirety of the first period. Trine broke through early in the second period, putting one past the Pioneers' goalie to take the lead. The Pioneers then answered quickly with a goal by Lucas Herman just 2 minutes later, assisted by Remy Parker.
Later on in the second, Utica drew the lead on a power play goal that was scored by Jacob Bro. In the third period, the Trine White Tigers would not let up, making tying the game again at 2-2, scored by Trine's Halford.
60 minutes would not be enough for the teams as they entered overtime, but after a back-and-forth 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime play, the Pioneers and White Tigers went on to a shootout. The Utica Pioneers eventually beat the White Tigers in the shootout.
The Pioneer football team looked to continue a historic season as they took on perennial powerhouse and number 2 ranked Mount Union Purple Raiders in the second round of the NCAA playoffs. After receiving the ball first, the Purple Raiders wasted no time as they went 75 yards down the field in just under 4 minutes to go up 7-0.
After a Pioneers interception, Mount Union then scored again to make it 14-0 after the first. After forcing a 3-and-out, the Pioneers' offense was a bit stifled from the Purple Raiders' defense as Utica went into the locker room trailing 24-0.
It was similar to the first half, where the Pioneers eventually found themselves down 45-0. With 10 minutes and 53 seconds left in the fourth, the Pioneers finally found life as tight end Tyler Kalenda was able to bolt down the sideline, cruising for a 53-yard touchdown.
That was all she wrote, as the Pioneers were defeated by a score of 45-7. The Pioneers conclude a historic season with the most wins in school history, as well as the first team to make the NCAA playoffs. Congrats, men.
Utica men's basketball faced off with Cazenovia College fresh out of the Thanksgiving break. Coming into the game, Utica had one of the best offenses in the nation after their hot start to the season. They were ready to light up Meagan Court as they ranked 10th in points per game and first in three-point percentage.
Cazenovia came out hot in this one, jumping out to an early 10-4 lead. Kobe Bogart was their big performer early as he hit a pair of threes and had 8 of the team's first 13 points. Utica was able to claw their way back after first-year point guard Dayon Thompson took over the offense off the bench. The Empire 8 Rookie of the Week scored 5 straight, including his first straight three-pointer of the season during the run. After
Utica got a 27-26 lead, they were able to pull away from Caz heading into halftime. After the first half, Utica led 43-36. The second half was all Utica as they were able to clamp down defensively on Cazenovia as the Wildcats only shot 29% from the field. Despite Kobe Bogart's best efforts late to get the Wildcats back in the game, Utica was able to ultimately pull out the dub by a score of 87-67. 5 Pioneers scored in double digits, with Justice Brantley leading the way with 16 points. Utica will be on the road next when they travel to Russell's H College to open up conference play on Friday. Last night, the Utica women's hockey team shook off their turkey legs and faced off against the Morrisville State Mustangs. Morrisville is an out-of-conference foe who the Pioneers beat last season in their home barn 1-0. Back in the Adirondack Bank Center, the Pioneers and Mustangs went up and down the ice for the majority of the first period, battling hard while each goalie put up their respective walls.
The Mustangs ended up getting one past Pioneers goaltender Angela Hawthorne to give them an early lead.
While the Mustangs were awarded a power play in the second period, Erica Sloan had an agenda as she picked up the puck on a breakaway and turned one over the Morrisville's goalie's glove and tied the game at 1 apiece.
Following Sloan's shorty, Courtney Staniszewski picked up the puck in the slot and ripped one past the 5-hole, past the Mustangs goalie to give the Pioneers the lead. But not for long, as the Mustangs quickly answered back, tying the game yet again at 2.
In the third period, the Pioneers found themselves on the penalty kill yet again. Molly Padone picked the Morrisville defender's pocket and found herself on a breakaway. Her shot was stopped, but a rebound fell right into Abby Lisley's feet. She finished the play with a top-shelf backhanded shot to give the Pioneers a 3-2 lead. These efforts would be enough for the Pioneers as the women upped their winning streak to 5 games.
The Utica men's hockey team has a huge game this weekend against the Oswego State Lakers. The game features a New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game, an annual event that happens around the holiday season. Fans are encouraged to bring a teddy bear to the game and throw them onto the ice after the Pioneers' first goal. The teddy bears are then collected and donated to children in need at Christmas.
In anticipation for this weekend's game, Utica TV's own Jeffrey Kopak sat down with your men's hockey forward Remy Parker to talk some Utica hockey and the big game this weekend.
There's a ton of excitement around this game this weekend, and we have joined in the studio Utica Pioneers forward Remy Parker to sit down and talk to us about it. Thanks for taking the time, Remy, to sit down with us. So, this will be your second season here at Utica after spending 2 prior at the University of Maine. Can you run us through the transition of acclimating yourself to the Pioneers culture?
Yeah, it was a really easy transition. I mean, everybody here was just so great when I got here. Really made me feel like home. I had a really close friend on the team. He brought me into, he made me feel like right at home right away, and just grateful.
This past summer, you spent time over in Israel competing in the Maccabiah Games, where you won a gold medal for Team USA in hockey. Can you share with us that experience with you?
Yeah, that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. To go back to a place that means so much to me in my religion. It's something I'll never forget. And to have 11,000 people all around the world just like me to meet up and compete in something that we love to do, to meet people all over the world, and especially to bring home gold for Team USA. It was an amazing accomplishment and something I'll never forget.
How did you get involved with that?
I have a close friend who I train with, and he was trying out for it, and he brought me along, and he introduced me to the coach, and then coach liked me, so
It was
made
all
the team.
Yeah, it was all perfect from there. Are there a lot
Yeah.
of guys like on that team who played in college, or at least playing in college like right now?
Yeah, so there's different divisions. There's a U18 division, open division, and a master's division. So U18 is U18, open is more college and pro, and then masters is 45 and over. So on the open team, it was a lot of college guys, and then you had a handful of pro, and then some guys that are going to be done but still want to get a last tournament in.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I guess final question around that, I'm super interested by it, but obviously winning gold medal is kind of, the end all, that's the perfect ending to the trip, but if you had to take something else away kind of from the atmosphere or just the cultures and everything, what was your favorite part of being over there?
So what's interesting about this is the U.S. is the only delegation to participate in this. So they basically get there a week early before opening ceremonies, and the entire U.S. delegation tours different parts of Israel. So I think that's something that me and my team really, at the time, we didn't enjoy, but looking back, it was really something that we won't forget. Going through that together, seeing all these important, sites that you just need to see, it was really something special.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing. I mean, that sounds like an awesome experience. So let's talk a little bit about this season. Obviously, here you play for the Utica Pioneers. You guys have had a hot start. What do you kind of attribute to a lot of that success?
Yeah, I think our first 2 games didn't really go the way they wanted to, so I think that was a big eye-opener for us. And ever since that, we try to work so we don't feel like we did those first 2 games. So I think that's a big reason why that we're so hot right now. We come to practice every day, ready to work, No guys are taking days off. I think the culture that we have is a big reason why we're doing so well right now, and we don't plan on stopping.
Yeah, so you speak about the culture. This season, you guys kind of have a plethora of new faces, a lot of transfers coming in, like yourself. How have those new faces worked into your guys' team and the success?
Yeah, all of our new guys have been great. The transfers have really been helping us out, obviously with some experience. They're doing what they can to bring experience to the younger guys too. They're doing the little things that matter. They're showing everybody else, what it takes. They've been a huge contributor to our culture.
Awesome. So now let's jump into the teddy bear toss, get to talk about that a little bit. Last year was your first year, we noted that, and unfortunately you weren't around for the teddy bear toss game. So what I'm wondering is, have you had an experience in the past of an event like this or anything that kind of involves what this event means?
Yeah, actually, a lot of guys have teddy bear tosses in juniors or maybe prior teams. My first teddy bear toss was in the Maccabea games this summer. It was after the first goal in the gold medal game versus Canada was the teddy bear toss, and we did score that goal. My friend actually scored that goal.
Wow.
And that was a lot of fun to have a teddy bear toss all the way in Israel.
Yeah. How many people were at that game?
I think approximately 7,000.
So it was that was a pretty
There's
good crowd.
a lot, yeah.
Awesome. All right. So with it being the annual New York Sash Teddy Bear Toss game this weekend, how does your team, has there been a lot of talk around the locker room on how this impacts the community and kind of what comes around the event for specifically your team in preparation for the game? Yeah,
I think this is a great event. The community does so much for us, so it's just nice to give back. All the guys are so excited. This is one event, I wasn't here last year when they did it, but I've seen videos, I've seen pictures, the buzz around it's real. It's for a great cause. Everybody's happy to be there. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to score that goal. So I think everybody's excited for it.
Yeah, I think you see it around campus and definitely in the community with interviews and everybody getting revved up, and you see all the posters and flyers, and telling a little bit about the event and how you want everyone to come out and bring teddy bear tosses. It's certainly kind of just a ramped up atmosphere around campus. So to kind of conclude this interview, who is your prediction to score the goal this year for the Pioneers?
My prediction is Buster Larson.
All right, awesome. Well, good luck to you guys this weekend, and good luck the rest of the season. We're all excited to be watching you Saturday against the Lakers, and we hope to see those teddy bears to fly pretty soon.
Thanks, Jeff. Now bringing you to what else we have ahead this week.
This Friday, the Utica women's hockey team are back with league play at the Nexus Center. The Pioneers face off against Alvernia for their final weekend of games prior to the Christmas break. The Utica team looked up their win streak to 6.
The Pioneers are currently 5-0-1 in league play, while the Alvernia Golden Wolves are 3-1-0. Make sure to come out to the Nexus Center and support your Utica Pioneer women's team this Friday at 4 p.m.
After getting a couple weeks off, the men's and women's swim and dive teams will be back in the water Friday night when they host Casanova College in SUNY Delhi. The men enter the meet with a 5-3 record, while the women sit at 4-4. Both teams are looking to continue their success against the two teams, following their wins over the Wildcats and Broncos earlier in the season.
The meet will be held in the Clark Athletic Center on Friday at 6 p.m., so be sure to go out and support the Pioneers in their final meet before winter break.
The Utica women's hockey team will see a familiar face as they take on Alvernia College for the second straight day this Saturday. The Lady Pioneers will look to build on this season, with the game beginning at 2:30 at the Adirondack Bank Center.
The Utica men's hockey team will be back in action on Saturday against the number 7 ranked Oswego State. This game will be the teddy bear toss, where all fans throw a teddy bear on the ice after the team's first goal. Make sure to come out there early. Puck drop was set for 7 p.m. at the Adirondack Bank Center. And that's all the Utica sports we have for you this week. Be sure to keep an eye out for our Moose Minute series that takes an inside look at your Pioneer athletics.
And be sure to follow us on social media to see when Utica TV will be broadcasting your Utica athletics. Hope you all had a good break. We're back from the World Cup. Soccer ball haircut's a little grown out, but hope you guys all had a good break.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. We're so happy to be back with you. And always remember to
Fear the moose. Watch the